Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Draw. This time I'm drawing a science fiction illustration. It's a bit of a larger project, so the video is slightly longer. I'm very sorry about the varying levels of uh, brightness. I hope nobody gets an epileptic seizure from it. Next time I'll know to turn off, I think it's probably automatic white balance or something. I'm not very knowledgeable about cameras. I'll do my best. So here first you see I'm making a sketch. I've had an idea. I've been drawing with graphite and ink for a while. I wanted to do a bit of a larger project, and I had this concept for a cyberpunk setting with like RPG characters, and they're investigating this basement. So I started out with a sketch. I've had a couple of other sketches before for the other characters. This character I thought didn't come out very good in the preliminary sketch, so I needed to explore a little better what I'm going to do with it, with her, so that I don't have to go looking around too much when I'm drawing the final piece. I know more or less what's happening, and so um, so the paper doesn't get too worked over with erasing and basically about most things. When you do several iterations of something, the more times you do them, the better you get at it. So that's also uh, why if you draw a lot you will get better at it. It's also smart to think about drawing as a form of training where you want to have a direction and follow a certain methodology in order to improve. If anybody is looking to learn more about drawing, I highly recommend the Andrew Loomis books. You can download them as a PDF and print them out. There are several books and they're very helpful and informative, covering a variety of subjects, including, as you can see in this image, there's some perspective, some figure drawing. There's also an element of composition. A lot of things go into making an illustration. Another thing that is a good advice is to join some online community where you can share your work and ask for advice and see what paths others are taking in order to improve. I'm not really sure right now, but back in the day, conceptart.org was a very good place, very helpful. You can also get inspiration from some very talented artists and improve and also have a direction and know what things to consider when you're trying to improve. If you just sit down and draw a lot, you will improve, but um, it can only take you so far. After a while, you need to think about what what things specifically I need to know and practice, learn about in order to get better. And these things like anatomy, values, color theory, composition, figure drawing, um, uh, not least of which technique. You want to know how to use the materials. For me, it's like I'm always bouncing around, trying different techniques. And if after a while I feel like I've gotten to a good place with a certain technique, I will do something like this illustration, trying to bring it all together to see how far can I take it. That's why this video is a bit long. Please excuse the length. I don't know exactly how long it took, but it was something like 20 hours overall. And here you see I'm looking up a reference image to see one of the character has a katana sword. I wasn't sure how you carry it, if it curves up or it curves down. Turns out if you're wearing armor, it's with the curve down. If you're not, then it turns up because of the way you draw it. You unsheath the sword. And that's a bit of I thought of the different characters. It's a cyberpunk setting, and some of my favorite cyberpunk stuff is like Shadowrun and Dark Conspiracy, and they have character types like a street samurai who are cyborgs, and they're muscle or mercenaries for hire. And these characters, well, as you can see, the scene is developing. They are in a basement, and it's dark there, and there's the light isn't very complicated, but it can also help to be a little bit interesting in how the scene renders. And as I'm working, I start again. I start from a light gray graphite HB, and then I move to darker and softer graphite 2B, and so on and so on. In leaps of two, I don't really, I guess I should go through every single point of the spectrum, but I don't have that much patience. And after I've rendered the scene for a while, I start to bring the characters out a little bit more, to be one step ahead of the background with the characters and other points of interest, so that I have a better idea of what I want to do with the background to get the best effect. I'm already using some ink. I want to see what my darkest black is going to be. Instead of waiting for the end, I'm doing it earlier, so I get a better grasp of how to do the rest of the scene. I feel at this stage that I've already done let's call it the searching part. I know where everything is, and now I want to see what's the best way to bring the important aspects of the scene out. And that means, for me at least, the characters are going to have the highest contrast to draw the eye more. And what's also I also want to bring up is that the background, it's almost it's you have to think about it not as something boring that you have to do for the characters to have a place to be in, because, well, that's pretty much what it is. But the background is also, think of it as another character. What special attributes does it have, and how is this character, it's not the main character, it's a supporting character, how is the background going to help you bring out the illustration better, make it more appealing, lead the eye around the drawing. There's a lot of research of how people look at things, and by tracking the pupils movement over an image. And we usually start at the top left corner, And in this drawing you can see that the top left corner is where the characters also enter the scene. So the way you look at the image also reflects the story that the image tells. And we end at the bottom right after wandering around mostly the center, a little bit more towards the left. And also, and that's why on the right hand side is like there's a monster hiding in there. It's a hint about something that's going to happen. And on the left side it's something that already happened, how the story came to. There's like a gangster alien that died, and there's a bunch of and I also try, to have as I'm trying to populate the background, think about what is logical to have down there, what might be what make it more real, more appealing to the viewer. So there's garbage and litter and various things that you might keep in a basement. And oh, that's it. Looks like we're about out of time. Um, I hope you enjoyed watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and ask questions. And I'll do my best to address them and do things that you'll enjoy. Until next time, have a good day.